Tristan wrote a beautiful haiku. Okay.
Hold on, what does it say? Pleasant afternoon, a little spiky poop drops after the hot dog. What? Yo, what's up, honkers? We're gonna be reacting to more Martincitopants' Factorio series. If you want to watch me react to part 1 of this series, go to Ozma's channel. You can see the first part of this video where me and Toby and Ozma all reacted to it together. Anyways, let's get right into the video.
Good evening. Welcome back to Factorio.
Yeah.
Last video, we installed the space exploration mod, built a big old factory, laid waste to our enemies, constructed a rocket, and launched ourselves into the great beyond.
Cool.
In this video, we expand even further. More death, more destruction, and more development of unprecedented risk management strategy through scalable directions. In this video, we won't just be going to space, but other whole planets. The entire solar system will not be spared from our reach.
Yes.
So, lettuce.
Lettuce. I don't like lettuce.
But before we can continue, I must fulfill my obligations.
Ads? Oh.
Opera GX.
Oh shit!
This video is
Opera GX, baby!
GX, the speediest gamer web browser you have ever seen in your entire life. Are you tired of these stinky web browsers vacuuming up all your RAM? Can't watch my videos in crystal clear 1440p because you're a Wikipedia goblin and forgot to close those 8,000 tabs about the most random shit imaginable, like the surname.
The surname.
Well, worry not, f***os. Opera GX is here to save you. Download it now with my link in the description and use GX Control. Stop sucking up my RAM. Done. Stop sucking up my CPU. Done. Stop sucking. No. Network bandwidth used, so when you download your 8 terabytes of smut, it doesn't interfere with your intense gamer session. Gentlemen, you can customize this browser to your heart's content. Dark mode, light mode. Force dark mode on every page so that this doesn't happen to you. And best of all, my very own wallpaper. Simply phenomenal. Fellas, we need to do something very important. Download Opera GX. Click this button in the top right. Use custom wallpaper. Get more wallpapers. Download my wallpaper and rate it 5 stars. Has Opera GX told me to do this? No. This is purely for my own vanity.
Hell yeah.
23 ratings, but we need to have more. Jay Schlatt has 194. Russian Badger has 272.
Wow.
And PewDiePie has 748.
Whoa.
And we can do better. What are you waiting for, f***os? Each passing day, my ego must grow larger. Finally, if you download using my link, you get a small section from my past few uploads, so you will never miss a video ever again.
Ever again.
And let's continue. Now, you may be asking, Mr. Mark, why has it been over a year since the last Factorio video? Well, I've been lazy, but I do have some excuses. For one, Ben and I in our infinite wisdom decided that this perfectly good, albeit a bit laggy factory wasn't good enough, and we just had to restart. So we switched up the mods a bunch and spent another 100 hours building a giant factory.
Why?
Huge production facilities, a totally necessary and not pain in the ass 8-lane train network, and
oh my god,
full of the most precious resource. At around 100 hours, we managed to get the first cargo rocket up and got ourselves into space. And then we were like, you know
that was the best part.
This world kind of stinks. I don't like the mods. Everything is too goddamn large. And generally it has an unpleasant vibe. So once again in our infinite wisdom, we abandoned that world and started over again.
No wonder this fucking video took like months to make. Man, I wonder why.
So of course, day 1. The crash landing, big space laser death rays, and setting up the starter base, basic mining, basic smelting, red and green science, a blue 2021 Dodge Challenger, and most importantly, our text plates.
Penis,
and
penis.
The Zaza.
Oh, the Zaza.
Things were going well. And then we built an entire factory.
Ooh.
Now, I'm just going to say that this was an intelligent storytelling choice, and definitely not me forgetting to record anything for over 40 hours. During those 40 hours, we built a whole factory. We constructed a runway for our brand new aircraft and covered it in poop. Tristan wrote a beautiful haiku. Okay.
Hold on, what does it say? Pleasant afternoon, a little spiky poop drops after the hot dog. What?
Okay. He developed a powerful addiction to cement, built some concrete production, and then was never heard from ever again. These 40 hours of Factorioing were done before I went to America to make this video, so I wasn't under any particular time pressure. But if I wanted to get this video out in time, things would have to get efficienter, which is a problem for me because if I play Factorio for too long, my brain goes woo, 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 and I walk around in circles for hours at a time, doing nothing. And so, not wanting to dilly-dally any further, Ben and I set our sights on launching to space.
Hell yeah.
Day 2. Time to launch to space.
Finally
Ben
in
and I loaded
space.
up the cargo rocket with a bunch of supplies and did our maiden launch for the 3rd time. And...
Boys.
Space, baby! Up there to greet us was this asteroid covered in junk and a bunch more useful stuff that we wouldn't be able to get for quite a while. So, after cleaning off the asteroid, we got to work on today's goal. Space science. Like all the other sciences, but space. While I was hard at work expanding our scientific capabilities, Ben busied himself with the construction of infrastructure.
I don't know. I have a better idea, Mark.
Oh,
Building stuff in space presents a whole new type of logistical challenge. Where
What,
do I
gravity?
get materials? Well, there are a few options. Sending them up in cargo rockets, or using these. Delivery cannons. Delivery cannons do exactly
delivery
what you expect.
cannons.
They shoot stuff into space. For them to work properly, we need a special chest for the goods to land in, and a way of telling them to turn on and off, so this doesn't happen. Deciding on which transport mode to use presents quite the conundrum. Which items do we send via rocket? Is it worth sending the basic plates with delivery cannons, or is that impractical? Making things even more difficult was the fact that some items we got in space couldn't really be used up here, and had to be dealt with somehow. Ben, however,
Damn
while trying
space
to
fish.
reconstruct the fish tunnel
SMH.
from our second base, gentlemen, the fish tunnel, found the perfect solution to that particular problem.
I don't know. Scrap in here.
Just flinging it into space. So, after wiring everything together, building delivery cannon chests, making a transmitter and receiver, and setting up our little space science production, before we knew it, space science was done. Bada bing, bada boom.
Hey, look at that.
This process takes a fair bit of energy, so using our combined 3.5 brain cells, we did this.
Really f***ing impossible to walk.
We are intelligent Factorio engineers. Back down on Norvis, we had a few issues. For one, a coronal mass ejection. Our umbrella defense took all the power from the factory, causing a giant blackout, but none of our base was damaged, and one of the CME beams even barbecued some biters. So thumbs up from me. Secondly, our flimsy walls were being eaten yet again.
I'm gonna take him on.
No bad.
I don't think it worked. He died.
For us to work efficiently in space, and eventually on other planets, our defenses would have to be self-sufficient. What we needed to do was build a wall.
Oh, hell
Day
yeah.
3.
Who's paying for it, though?
No. Time to build a wall. If you cast your mind back to the previous video, we got away with minimal wall building because you could just build an impervious moat with everyone's favorite item, water fill. Of course, our peaceful moat building eventually turned into this. Well, the mod author,
Water
clearly
fill.
having seen the utter shenanigans one can achieve with a bit of water fill, tragically put a stop to it.
No!
Truly a sad day for Bean Toys Incorporated.
No!
For this world, we decided not to use water fill since it's really not that fun, so instead, we had to build an actual wall with actual defenses. So we built an actual wall with actual defenses. Here's the blueprint. Some flamethrower turrets for the big damage, laser turrets to finish them off, and 2 layers of self-healing mending walls to keep out those spiders. To top it all off, we have straight sections, gay sections, and train stops for our repair train to come and visit when things need repairing. Now, what's the point of spending all this time designing and building a shiny new wall if it doesn't expand our territory? So, I hopped in the attack helicopter and expanded our territory. This is where our most powerful mod came into effect.
Which
And no,
is?
I'm not talking about the helicopter. I'm talking about the replacement of explosion sounds with Vine Boom. Once it was all said and done, thousands of biters had been laid off, evicted, and burnt to death, and our territory had been greatly expanded. Now, of course,
Good job, everyone.
let's build that wall. During construction, I had what some might refer to as a silly clown moment. To
Silly
help
clown
speed things up,
moment,
I've
okay.
been making good use of the jetpack, but the jetpack takes fuel. And I ran out.
Oh.
Rough. Walking all the way
Damn,
back
that
was going to take
sucks.
me ages, so instead of using my shit-ass legs, I handcrafted a Dodge Challenger in about half a second
Wait,
and
what?
drove it back to base.
What? Does that not require...
Automating space science allowed us to research a lot of new things. New machines,
Growth facility grows biological specimens under a range of controlled conditions.
gross biological specimens, me. But most importantly, everyone's favorite weapon system,
Artillery.
artillery.
Oh no! Ah! The bugs!
Huh. Well, I guess the wall works pretty well.
Oh, man,
Now
yeah.
that the base perimeter had been secured, it was time to expand the factory to other worlds. Day 4.
Okay.
Seagull, the site of our next grand expansion. Seagull is a small moon rich in cryonite, the first resource that we can't just get on Novus. And cryonite we would be needing. So to get started, I fired up the creative world and spent a few hours creating. Cryonite presents a bunch of new challenges. First of all, it's not practical to put the processing plant on Novus because cryonite ore only stacks to 20, which kind of makes moving it around a bit of a gigantic pain in the arse.
Yeah, that sounds
Cryonite
really
rods
annoying.
stack to 200, and each cryonite rod takes 10 cryonite ore, so that's 100 times better. Well, to make the rods, we need heavy oil, and the only way for us to get that is with oil processing, so we need to make some oil processing, but then we also need a way to deal with the light oil and petroleum byproducts, so we turn this into solid fuel, and then since another step in the process uses steam, we use the solid fuel in a boiler to make our steam, but it doesn't need that much steam, so we boil off the steam in turbines, but the turbines only turn on when the solar panels don't produce enough energy, so we need a way of turning off the solar panels when we need to burn off the steam, and then that step that takes steam also produces water, so we need a way of making sure the water tank isn't full, and not to mention mountains of sand produced. Why is there so much sand? So yeah.
My brain hurt.
Already pretty complicated, and this is the simplest new resource. With all that being said, here's the blueprint. So, time for our next big venture. Before leaving, I had written out a comprehensive, exhaustive list of everything we would need. Except, of course, cliff explosives, substations, construction box, and logistics bots.
So you're still missing stuff then?
Hi, Forgor. I built a big
Forgor?
solar
Okay.
field to power the base, sent it on the rocket with all the stuff I Forgor, and then sat back and let our good old botters do all the hard work. After an hour, the facility was done, and we had made our first cryonite rods. Yes! To take them back to Novus, I built another rocket, another landing pad, and flew myself back home. And there we go, boys. Cryonite was now available. The first thing we needed it for was making utility science. So I hooked it up to a delivery cannon, went back into space, stuck down a bunch more machines, and before I knew it, utility science was done. Yeah! Finally, we could research logistics system, and the factory could grow even larger.
Even bigger and wider.
Day 5. Time for the factory to grow even larger. Using our new logistics chests, we began reconstruction of our space base to use a bus design. And tragically, in the process of building our new bus, this happened.
What happened?
Oh no. Funnily enough, this train had not been touched for over 20 hours and was still spinning. I finished up the side of our bus and rebuilt the science production to make a respectable 60 science per minute. Utility science was done. Now it was time for production science.
Then why is it bad that the train
science uses vulcanite?
didn't
and
stop?
So it was time for more creative work. Vulcanite, like cryonite, has its own set of unique challenges. First off, vulcanite stacks to 20, so once again we want to make it into vulcanite blocks. Vulcanite ore goes into pulverizers, gets pulverized into crushed vulcanite, enriched vulcanite, and even more fucking sand. The crushed enriched vulcanite and then used in centrifuges with some added sulfur, which produces even more enriched vulcanite through a feedback loop. The enriched and crushed is then sent to industrial furnaces where it's combined with water and petroleum, which makes our final product vulcanite blocks and some steam, and the steam is put through a condenser turbine, which converts most of it back to water. Now this process is fairly complicated, but what makes it particularly difficult is the fact that planets with lots of vulcanite also tend to be waterless. No water means we can't easily make the sulfur or petroleum, so those need to be shipped in.
So then how do you ship in the water?
Since we now have access to cryonite, we can also freeze the water and ship it around that way. Water ice can stack to 200, and each ice holds 100 water, so every stack is 20,000. This is quite a good solution.
Okay, that's not bad.
Almost
That's
free,
not that bad.
And we don't have to ship any barrels, which is good, because barrels suck. While I was sorting all this out of my head, Ben joined the creative world and decided to build some plutonium reactors. Of course, seeing as we were in a creative world and had access to whatever we wanted, things very rapidly went off the rails.
Plutonium atomic bomb. Alright, Martin, where the f are you?
Don't shoot this, please. Oh my god.
Holy shit. Instant research on.
It's gonna shoot fast.
Oh no!
Let me do it.
Oh, there you go.
God.
Holy shit!
My screen's just white.
What are you...
Look.
What's with all the worms, Ben?
What?
Alright, Martin, in game blueprints, if you ever need, need a
God.
block of 23,000 worms, it's just fucking there.
Oh my god, that's a lot of worms.
A lot of worms. That's what that is.
Back in the game, we got a few things ready for our Vulcanite expansion and had a look around at the star map when we noticed an interesting structure in the asteroid belt.
What is that? Is that a...
Day 6. Agni, our chosen destination for Vulcanite processing. But first,
was that a space? Was that an alien spaceship?
Around cargo rockets. Okay, it's been a few hours. Mart, did you wrap your head around cargo rockets?
No.
No. This large amount of Factorio I had been doing was definitely getting to me. My initial plan of being efficient called for a schedule, short breaks every hour or two, frequent meals, but all of that went out the window once I started actually playing. Yeah, sure, I could eat right now, but I'm almost done with my new smelter setup, and I think I know which is more important.
This is what I am with WoW, or any game that I get like super invested in. By the way, that's what happened to me the day that we played Yakuza. I played for like 7 hours, and it's like, oh, I haven't ate yet. Man, that sucks.
This game really is crack.
It is, yeah.
I still had a job to do, and today it was to go to Agni.
I don't think I could play this game, chat. Do y'all think my brain would break from playing this? Like, I can barely play Satisfactory. And I feel like that's like way simpler than this.
And get some goddamn Vulcanite. I loaded up a rocket, this time remembering to bring the stuff I Forgor last time, and flew over to our next big venture.
Okay. Bam 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 bam.
I built another big-ass solar panel, stuck down 10,000 more accumulators because the day-night cycle is quite long, and once again, sat back and let the botters do all the hard work. And after a few hours of bringing more stuff from Novus, the blueprint was built, and Vulcanite was finally being processed. So I took it back home, made a setup to make iron ingots, loaded it all on delivery cannons, built even more space machines, and what do you know? Production science was automated.
Hey!
Oh my god.
We did it!
It only took 82 hours. Production science let us unlock a bunch of cool stuff. Better inserter configurations, beacons, bigger bot cargo capacity, Covrix enrichment, and best of all, incendiary artillery shells.
Ooh.
These are like normal artillery shells, but spicier.
But they're fire.
And with that, I quit Factorio and went out with my friends to a nightclub.
Hey!
You know, for efficiency. Day 7. After a rather solid night out, leaving the club when the lights came on at 4 AM and getting home at 5, I went to bed, got nowhere near enough sleep, and hopped back on Factorio.
Why?
However, as you can probably imagine, the powerful hangover I was battling with left me playing Factorio like a complete brick.
Like a slug, yeah.
I wasn't going to do anything complicated. Just some simple upgrades. Productivity Module 3s, some Covrix processing, concrete production to fuel my incredible cement addiction, some upgrades for the science setups, and finally, designing and building a nuclear reactor that takes no inspiration whatsoever from this one by Zisto. Oh,
Zisto.
None.
Okay.
They just happen to be quite similar.
Very, very similar.
No particular reason. I completed the day with some copper smelting expansion. Hey girl, are you a construction worker? Because you are building.
It simply just makes sense.
Jesus Christ.
It just makes sense, though.
And right before I went to bed, I found this wonderful hidden text plate.
Anus.
News.
What?
Day 8.
Why was... What?
Our resources are running low, and that space we claimed on day 3, well, I think it could be larger.
It could be.
Right now, we need more copper, and while there's a little bit within our walls, there is much, much more, just a little outside of them. I think you see where this is going. It was time to expand our territory once again. I laid out a plan for a new wall, trying to use as much water as possible. But what's the point spending all this effort clearing out new territory if our wall is outdated and shit? So I hopped back into the creative world and built Wall version 2. For our new wall, I would be using some of our new upgrades. Each wall segment would have an artillery turret loaded with incendiary shells, but the main difference is in the train stops. The old system was dumb, but the new system is less dumb. This totally, fully necessary big blob of combinators reads the contents of these chests and calls the train when supplies run low. The main advantage of the new system is that once the station is built, the train will automatically come by, unload the materials and construction bots, and the bots will build the rest of it for me. The flamethrowers also now use napalm, since why not? Anyway, for us to actually build these walls, we would need to clear out a lot of biters. So I hopped back in the attack helicopter and got to work on our next grand expansion.
Gotta have the vine booms, chat. If there's no vine booms from every single one of these explosions, it's not worth it.
The first wall segment had been placed, and thousands of biters had been sacrificed for it to happen. I quickly stuck down some copper outposts, and the factory's blood could flow yet again. Day 9. I wasn't done.
Oh, that's
Gentlemen,
a
it was time to build
StarCraft creator.
the rest of the wall. To build it, I'd have to clear out thousands and thousands of biters. So,
Right.
wanting to do things efficiently, I ran some tests. The attack helicopter was great, but it needed lots of rockets and it had health, so it could die. Oh, no. And while it was very fast, it could be faster. Introducing the Flying Fortress, one of the vehicles of all time. More health and
Ooh, a
faster
vehicle of
speed.
all
Surely
time?
this would be better than the helicopter.
Oh, that's way faster.
Nope. The Flying Fortress is an airplane, and airplanes have this little quirk where if you go below a certain speed, they go, I don't want to fly anymore, and they land.
Oh.
So, inevitably, while delivering high explosive rockets from the safety of my plane, I flew too slow, the plane landed
Oh
itself,
no.
and I got mauled to death by
Oh
Navy
no.
rock. No. Next up was our new incendiary artillery, which proved to be much more effective. Using manual targeting, I could clear entire giant nests in a few seconds.
That ain't
Even
that
better,
bad.
I could use the helicopter to get to an island, stick down the turrets, and rain death behind an impervious barrier of water. This was great, but it could be even better.
Really?
Introducing artillery shells that are atomic bombs.
Oh.
Our arsenal was perfected. The blueprints were ready. and
Doesn't
Operation
that
Pooch
ruin the area?
done.
Like, doesn't that, like, I don't know, radiate the area? Oh my god!
Oh, Ben, I found the resonant frequency of my room. Would you like to
Wait,
hear the
what?
resonant,
The resonant
frequency of my room?
Of his
Yes.
room?
And would you look at that? The biters are all dead, and the wall is all built.
God, that
Holy
is...
shit, I think that's it. In total, it took me about 13 hours of pure
Holy
paving
shit!
and building to get here. But it was definitely worth it. Because safety and security had finally, for real this time,
Yeah.
been achieved.
In part 3, if he restarts again, I'm gonna be so mad.
Day 10. With our borders more secure than ever, it was time to continue on our galactic conquest. Ben and I, again seeing that spaceship in the asteroid belt, decided to
Yeah?
hop in a rocket and go get it. Alright, here it is, Ben.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
3,
probably-
2, 1, launch.
Here we go.
And engage. Oh shit.
That.
And...
Oh, there we are. We're in Norvis.
Nice.
I'm gonna go down here. Bam.
I'm fucking
That was
stuck
sick.
on this solar panel.
That's actually so cool. It's called the cum wagon.
Yeah.
Riding on the high of our successful bootstrapped spaceship experience, we scoured the star map for anything else interesting. And we found something interesting. An alien pyramid structure poking out of the ground on the surface of Agni. So, Ben and I headed over to Agni to take a look.
What is that?
There it is.
Yeah,
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh.
Well, shit.
Well, that was a good video. I do hope that you know, that it doesn't restart again. That would I hope you honkers enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button, sub if you're not already, and comment what your favorite moment from this video was. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day today, and I'll see y'all in this video right over here that YouTube thinks you'll like. Bye-bye.
And a place where we don't have to feel this pain. If there is, then why do we hurt so much, and why do I wanna stay?